Okay, hello everyone, and yeah, welcome to this South London Lads podcast. It's the first podcast we're doing. It's me and Sam here today, and we're just going to talk all things South London Lads. Seeing as we've passed our 5-year anniversary of since we began, we thought it'd be a good idea just to speak about the history of the lads, where we began, how we've come through this period, and now where we are at. So yeah, what do you think about that, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, those of you who know us and you've been following us for a while, you know that we've been playing five-a-side for like 5 years now. Just 6 years.
6 years.
5 years. Yeah. Had breaks here and there. We've had a lot of victories, had a lot of losses, and we just thought we had a lot of time on our hands. So we thought might as well just make some content, speak about our own personal experiences in South London Lads.
So let's do this. I mean, I guess a place to start, a question to start out would just be like why we came to be, where the name came from, who we are, basically the identity of the club. And just to go over that briefly, I would say that, yeah, I mean, Sam Rainbird, he kind of put the idea forward, and we kind of just backed it at that point. And yeah, the idea was because we were all into football. We were just literally lads, hence the name South London Lads. It wasn't really hard to come up with that name, to be honest. We were like range. Sam was maybe 19, 20 at the time. I was 16. A bunch of us 15. Subok, Benny, JT, they're all like 15 at the time. Like the most standard group of lads you're going to find. Sam, you were 16, 17. Yeah. So that's where the name really originated from. It's not too deep. And yeah, the reason we wanted to start, because we all played football, we all had a sense of knowledge. I mean, of course, some of us had different backgrounds of football. Some of us played for clubs, you as well, Sam Rainbird. We had our 11-a-side clubs before, whereas the other of us played just in the park, was the most competitive they played before. So we kind of decided to get into it and start the season. And yeah, I mean, let's think back to that time. If I was to ask, like, I don't know, what's your memories of that time, Sam?
He said I wasn't a constant figure at that time because I lived in Birmingham back then, but I came down and played whenever I could. But I just remember, like, we really struggled to seal wins at the very start. Like, we'd score goals and have leads at the very start, but then we'd just struggle to maintain a lead and win games. And I think as well, a big part of that was adjusting to the physicality of the game, a five-a-side and the teams there and the players there. But like he said, like half of us were like under the age of 18 then, and we were still quite young and kind of not as strong as we are now, I guess. But adjusting to playing against like grown men and things would took some time, a long time actually. But I think our aim was just to try and win a game. I think that like epitomizes kind of where we were, just like win a game. And yeah, I think that's how I remember it. And the conversations was just like based on what are we doing wrong to like lose matches or lose leads in the later stage of games, and who played each week in, week out. So.
Yeah. But I would say the same. I mean, of course, we never thought about winning the league at the time, because I mean, when we joined Goals Sutton, and we joined on a Sunday, so we played every Sunday, and there was 2 leagues. We were stuck in the Championship, but the Premiership was the top league. So I mean, at the time, like, yeah, I didn't see really us getting anywhere. I mean, I knew we had talent. I knew most of us had ability, we had some know-how. But yeah, at the beginning, it was really just to win one match, because I think the first 5 weeks, something like this, we didn't win one match.
Yeah.
Like, and we came close every time, or more or less every time. And I was it was a bit frustrating, and it kind of imprinted a little bit of like, we're not that great as a team. I don't know, we're just a bunch of jokers somehow.
Yeah.
Despite players like, we had David Fortune in at the time, Alex Fortune. I think they definitely added something to the squad at the time. They added a physicality, of course, because they're both over 6 foot, whereas most of us were maybe not. So that added something, but yeah, still it felt like we had this shadow over us.
I don't know what do you feel like what's the turning point in that period?
Eventually, of course, we did win a match. I can't remember who it was against, and of course, that was a great feeling. But then, yeah, I feel like once that got lifted, I feel that was quite a pivotal experience moment which we had when, yeah, of course, we played top of the league at the time. They were going for the league. They were trying to win and get promoted, while we were just, of course, just trying to get any points we can get.
Yeah.
So we went up against them, and yeah, I remember the game was very end to end. We were winning, and of course, as our reputation was, they came back into the game, and then into the last few minutes it went, and we were holding a slender lead, and we thought, no way, we're actually going to beat top of the league. Like this is happening. Yeah. Literally not, but we couldn't buy a win at the time to actually beat in top of the league. It was quite a transformation.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, okay, like one of the rules in five-a-side is the goalkeeper can't throw it out overarm, only underarm at the time. And unfortunately, JT in goal, he threw out overall. So like the referee gave a last second pen even, not even last minute pen.
Yeah.
And we were head in hands. Literally, we thought we had this victory, and we thought we broke our curse a bit. And then it felt like it was all getting thrown away. They stood up and took a penalty, one of the guys. And anyway, when you get a penalty in five-a-side, basically you're bound to score. There's no chance anyway. But anyway, JT, he pulled off an absolute amazing double save. I can remember it, like it's a clear memory in my head, like because I remember just the complete utter shock of it. And literally, as he made the second save, the referee blew his final whistle, and we chased JT down, and he was like, I remember his face, he was so buzzing, and we were all just happy. That was, in some ways, especially in the early stages of South London Lads, that was a big moment for us to realise that, like, yeah, I don't know, we can win. We can win. Yeah. We can be more than just this team that just turns up and plays, but we can actually be something.
Yeah.
Now, sure. Foreshadowing, almost, you could say.
Yeah, foreshadow. I think as well, it's like it had such a big impact on us, because I think at that stage, a lot of us were just kind of being like, our hearts weren't really in the game and being in the league. We kind of like turn up, like just have some fun. Like we're gonna lose anyway, but like when we beat them, it switched things on. I actually do like playing football, like in a way to kind of like I actually do enjoy this. This is what it feels like. But so yeah, that had like a big impact in us going forwards. I think thinking, okay, we won a game against this team, like a hard opponent. We can potentially go on to win the league and win more games. That never happened, unfortunately, at that time. Because yeah, I think after that time, Joe went on gap year, and then he played, I think, a couple of seasons. But then there was a lot of people coming in and out, a lot of players leaving, joining at that time, and then there was no real consistency and no progress. So eventually, we just hung up our boots and called it a day. And it was like a 2-year break or so or something.
Yeah, which and the funny thing was, I mean, not funny, but it was just a bit frustrating, the fact that it felt like from that first period when we began, we were on an uphill scale, you could say, like, and I felt some togetherness was coming. I remember specifically on the last day of one season before I left, I remember we played a game and we finished third, I think, in the league, which was our highest finish, and there was some sort of togetherness there. But unfortunately, like when the season after that, we changed to Power League, and like you said, players were coming in, going, and there was just a lack of, I think, that togetherness and a lack of momentum. We never really built that similar momentum for a while.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like you said, we hanged up our boots in 2016, and then what happened after that in 2018?
I moved to Sutton, to South London, because I was studying and working. Me and Joe had a conversation of starting back South London Lads up again, and we had no squad at that point. It was just me and Joe. But then I think Joe invited his friend Johan, and I guess you can speak about the process of how that happened.
Yeah, like you said, I invited my mate to join us because we needed the players at the time. Literally, from having all these players, literally they'd gone out, like, they had either their jobs, or they're in a different country, or they're just too busy on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So we would have taken anyone at that point. Almost like we were just scrapping for anyone. And yeah, we signed Johan, and he was up for it. And it was perfect. He was the striker we needed at the time, someone who could find goals. Of course, we were like in the championship again. Again, it was the challenge of trying to get to the Prem. how did we even go around that?
Like we said, the core three players at the time were yourself, me, and Johan, and then obviously you had Benny, who would play every now and then when he could, Zubac, and then
Alex
Almeida as well. He could join. He helped out a lot.
Who could finally pass the age restrictions?
Finally old enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we took each game as it came. It's literally just like each game figuring out what our tactics should be, like what formation should be. But after a while, we started to figure out like a rhythm that worked for us, which was me and Joe at the back, Johan like anywhere in the middle where he could help out the fifth player, which was either Benny or Zubac or Alex usually, and then just get anyone who we could to play on the Sunday, get literally anyone who was available, and that was it was just a grind. Each week was literally like a grind to get a fifth man.
In that way, it didn't feel like we could really build on a rock almost. We had some sort of consistency with us three, but
it wasn't enough to actually like propel us forwards, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Because also at the same time, of course, the season was 10 weeks, and I mean, you got to be consistent throughout those 10 weeks if you want to try to win. And I felt at that time we were trying, but we always came third or second, or we could never quite be that number one team who would then eventually get promoted to the Prem.
But the difference is in that period as well was that even though we weren't getting promotion or like it was kind of a bit inconsistent in terms of players, like we were still like enjoying the football, having fun in the game. Like it was still fun, like, enjoying it.
We scored some tasty goals in the process, like So we were seeing more chemistry within the with our passing, with our just the goals we were scoring. That was
for sure. In that period, the championship, we went a while without gaining promotion, and that started to dawn. It did start to dawn on us a little bit. Like, okay, we've been in like 4 seasons or something now. Like, we need to get a move on or something. We knew we were one of the better teams in the league, like in terms of individuals, because we had played against like each team like a lot of times by that point. But it's just because of that inconsistency within the team, we couldn't actually like get promotion until I think there was a turning point again where things started to look a bit brighter, right? And
we had a little injection of players, and you were in talks with Josh McAhoney. Snow's gonna kill me for pronouncing his surname wrong, but McSlash, Josh McSlash, you decided to bring him in, and which was an absolute masterclass of recruitment. And within at least 1 week or 2 weeks, we invited Alex Fortune back, one of the forefathers of the South London lads, who was there from literally week 2.
Yeah,
he finally made his return because I think he moved to Sutton. So and that injection of personnel, I think, completely propelled us to the next level. You could say,
exactly. I think as well, it wasn't just like it wasn't just the fact that it was 2 new players, but it was also sort of like who they were as well as individuals and their playing styles.
Yeah,
they allowed more like attackingly gifted players like Johan to kind of like focus on and staying up front. But also, so they were good at keeping the shape and holding down the line. We could actually start to speak about tactics before a game now, rather than who's gonna play, and that made like a huge difference.
And then so they got recruited. Then came the pivotal season where we had a fresh 5 players: you, me, Johan, Alex, Fortune, Josh, who were the solid 5. Alex Almeida was always on the wings. He could play coming sometimes, and also Seb Warren. But say there was at least a foundation there. And I don't know what happened in that final season.
We won every game, right?
Every game. Every
game. Can't even put my finger on what it was, if there was one thing but but I just think it was just all our combined experiences, and just we were all at peak fitness at that time. I think as well. So it's just everything just worked out. We won every game.
Yeah.
Won the league. Got promotion.
We broke the curse of finally getting out of the championship.
Yeah.
I don't know, personally what I loved about that time, just to briefly touch on it, was just, again, I feel like a togetherness was there again. We all on the same page, you could say. Like, everyone was committed, because I think that's what you need, especially if you wanted to win the league. And if you want to just have a good team in general, you need commitment. We had that time.
We all wanted to play every game.
Exactly.
And win every game.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then, obviously we won the championship, we gained promotion, we got winners' medals, and then we played our first game in the Prem.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, I mean, just of course, the thing that I noticed straight away, which I'm sure everyone did at the time, was that of course the skill level had definitely gone up a notch. The ability level, our opponents who we were playing were definitely a lot better, you could just say, in playing.
Yeah.
Really. Because I remember, just to go over our first season, we didn't win one game. Like, officially, we didn't win one game. There was this one team, Hackbridge, of course. We've got many talking points about them. Of course, the fact that they were pretty much our main rivals at the time. I think they were just the complete, you could say, like, typical nemesis. Like, in terms of the fact that they were like the hard guys, but they're also good.
Yeah, it's like the classic like sports movie, like
exactly.
Like as you said, we lost every game in that season. Our first game in the Prem was against Hackbridge, which is our rivals, I guess. And I guess I don't know, what was it about that game that you realised like maybe we might have to like regroup and rethink things, or what was your mindset like at that point?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, I think by playing them, it definitely showed us what we could be. Because I think when we started, of course, we didn't know who we could be. And I felt like after we finally got promoted, we realised our potential. But then when we played them, we realised we could even take it up a notch.
Yeah.
There was more to improve, which I think is always a good thing. But in terms of the team, I felt, I mean, we needed a solid goalkeeper. I feel we still had the same squad as before, so it was 5 of us, and we were all rotating in goal.
Yeah, exactly. I think that as well. Yeah, having a solid goalkeeper, but also just like, obviously we had experienced like rough teams in the past, like in Team H and also in general in five-a-side, but also like that was the first time where we experienced a team that was like rough, but also like really good as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of opened our eyes to like, okay, if we play in this league, we can't be just like kind of like nice guys. We can't be pushovers basically. And yeah, that took a bit of getting used to, but then definitely, I said that the recruitment of a goalkeeper was like key, I think. And yeah, I guess that was Kenneth, right?
Yeah. The thing about Kenneth, like, I don't know, he had a bit of a rough start though at the beginning, didn't he? Like, where, because I mean, for him, I mean, it was like his first kind of real experience in goal, almost like completely out of his comfort zone. So he did need to learn a few things, which he did eventually, which was really cool. But there was a lot of improvements. I think he knew he needed to make, which you could see as the weeks went by that he did. Like he showed his ability, and I think with that came a lot of success with that. Like that was something we needed to improve, and we improved it.
I think as well, I feel like we were all experiencing a learning curve as well.
Yeah,
true. At the same time, just because of the quality of the teams in the league, you know, and us not winning a game, we had to kind of rethink the formation, how we lined up, how we played, you know. Yeah,
it's true.
So we lost every game in our first season.
Yeah.
What was in the next season? What was happening?
Oh, the next season, yeah, I believe. I think that's when I believe that's when we recalled Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the Mark as well was very similar to the process with Kenneth. He just found his way on our doorstep and he knocked and we answered and he walked right in and he always like teased that, oh yeah, I might come play one time. It was a bit of a tease, but then we felt the difference though when he came.
100%. Because the thing about, I'll say, the Premiership to the Championship was the physicality of it, and he was as physical as they come in terms of any player we had before. Like, I think we all, you could say, tough in our own respect. Like, but I remember him stepping onto the pitch. He definitely came with an aura of like physicality, right? Like
the presence.
A presence, exactly. I don't know, players I feel like almost feared him, like when they saw that, and I don't know. I think that's what we needed at the time. That was like a good piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think as well because his like awareness of like and his knowledge of how to like defend in five-a-side as well came into play a lot, because I think he played a lot of five-a-side games before, and I think that's something we didn't really have figured out, like how to defend like well in five-a-side, like especially in the corners and things like that. And he kind of like he helped out a lot with that, and he allowed us to kind of be a bit more free with like going forward or kind of experimenting, following Mark quite a while, maybe even a whole season afterwards, right?
It was, because like when Mark got introduced, then we went a season of like winning a few games, losing a few games. It was like it was a vast improvement, but we weren't winning the league. We were still behind Hackbridge and I think another team called DMFC. And like we needed that. I don't know. We needed, you could say, one more piece of the puzzle.
And so then the season after Mark joined came the introduction of Toby.
What would you say his impact was on the team?
He was the most experienced just in football anyway. He played 11-a-side, 7-a-side, futsal, I think as well, 5-a-side, a lot in the past. And he's just footballing knowledge was just a bit more seasoned than ours, and his like analytical mind as well was like a bit more just in tune, and he just helped with like organizing the team and like figuring out, okay, these are the players we have, this is the formation that works best. Oh, one thing for sure is he actually playing and not playing, he definitely helped us like with the tempo of our game and speeding up the tempo of passing and playing. And in that sense, in just our playing style, he was kind of, I think, maybe the main impact in that sense of Toby.
Yeah, it felt like, whereas we had an identity of like an actual team being like a strong physical team at that point, he brought an identity in terms of tactics as well, like playing style, like rather than just being like some like big guys at that time. He actually brought an identity to the tactics and the style of play we had. And I think one thing I liked about his introduction as well is like definitely brought voice. At times it could be a bit too much, but at the same time it's needed. And I think
100%.
It just raised the intensity, I think, of our play. Like
raised his standard for sure.
Standard, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Because I remember actually, I think it was the season after he joined. He'd been there for a while. I was out for a while because I had an injury, right? I was watching the games back, and I saw like how much like we'd all improved, and in my mind I was thinking, whoa, do I even have a spot in this team anymore? You know, I was like, because you should just have standard and improve like that much on our tempo of our passing, our the goals, a lot more one-touch passing, two-touch passing, and it's just that's ultimately what made us like contenders against Hatbridge and like
I think so,
Son on tour as well, DMFC. Like that's what made us like actually we could actually win the league if we string these games up with each other. So
if we all stayed fit, if we all turned up, we'd have a chance basically. Like 10 weeks straight if we could do that. And like it came. It was like when Toby joined, we finished that season I think level on points with the top. But we fell out on goal difference, basically. We came second on goal difference to Hackbridge. And
Yeah.
and I think I remember clearly we went for a harvester meal after that season, and we kind of just felt like, all right, we come this close, but then next season I felt like we I don't know, we're gonna take that next step to go that next level and actually win the league, and so it was. I mean, we went the whole season pretty much unbeaten.
Yeah.
We were completely dominant the whole season. We beat Hackbridge twice that season. We beat every other team. We were just completely on fire. It's like we clicked on all levels. We had a mix of physicality, like tactics, passing. We had like a mix of everything. Like in our squad, we had the flair, we had in Johan, and we had the voice and Toby. Yeah, it was all a great balance, I thought. And it became a goal for us, like, as the season progressed, that we wanted to just be unbeaten and that we could hold that and like we could be proud of that fact. And we're doing it. We went 1 game, 2 games, and like we found ways of winning every game. Like even if we were losing, we found ways of coming back and winning, holding up food. And we could definitely feel, it felt like that season we won the championship where we had this togetherness and we had this momentum. It felt like we were going to do it. And then it came, I think it was actually to the 9th game of the season because we had 1 more game afterwards. And anyway, we were playing this team, I think they were called Kirsty Creams or something like that. Anyway, I just remember at that point, Hackbridge really didn't want us to win the league. So literally they threw all their players, like they borrowed players from Hackbridge, and it was just a mix of a big random team. But yeah, and
it was like all of our rivals combined to one team just to stop us from winning the league. Like that's how serious it was.
Exactly, yeah. It was complete shambles of the game because I remember we were losing 2-0, but then we staged the comeback to lead 5-2. And at that point, we knew, like, okay, we've done the hard part. Now we just got to see this game out. And somehow we gifted 4 penalties away and 6-5, which was and that was the game that really it was so frustrating. I think we were all so frustrated. Like whole season's work was thrown away, and I remember the referee had a shocker that game, and we were just so upset. I mean, it was really like hard to take after such a strong season.
Yeah.
But regardless of it, we still held out and we won the league by a clear margin. I think we were top on all scales. I think goals scored, definitely goals conceded, goals difference. Yeah, we really murked it.
And even though like it was obviously like a great victory, a great thing to win the league, but that season we just had a bit of like asterisk by it because we could have been unbeaten except for that 1 game, and I think that was what we were hoping for, because it wouldn't just have meant we were the best team that season, but it would have meant we dominated like everyone. But if you're thinking back to not being able to buy a win, scrounging for players like anyone who was available to having like a strong squad who like everyone was there pretty much every week.
Exactly.
Huge turnaround.
Yeah, completely. Literally gone from boys to men.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, man, it's been a long journey though. It's been a long journey. Obviously now we're still playing. After we won that season, that league, we went to Power League.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end of the 2nd season there at Power League.
On course to winning the league.
On course to winning it. There's talk of us going back to certain goals. Talk of it. Hackbridge is still there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the future holds for us. But
I guess one thing is, as we didn't win the whole season unbeaten, we still have something to strive for. Like we still, we haven't completed it yet. So
still that,
I mean, when you look back on that, probably like that, it's a nice road. I mean, and I guess one thing you could see is that like it was a bit of a bumpy road. Like we started, we rose, we fell off, we started again. We had like many ups and downs, but I don't know. It's nice to see. It was not. Yeah, it was never just a straight line like from bottom to top.
Yeah.
It was really like.
Yeah.
We stuck at it. We stuck at it through the tough times when we couldn't win. We stuck when it was maybe too physical at times and like almost scary.
Yeah.
But Yeah, come a long way for sure.
Yeah, a long way. Big factor in our success is the fans, our supporters, our long-time fans as well. Like liking our posts on Facebook, like seeing us in person, saying, "Are you gonna win today?" or something, just like inspired us, I guess. But we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, thanks for listening, everyone. Cheers, son, for talking.
Cheers, lad. We've been the South London Lad podcast. Thanks for watching.